Now let's go ahead and define a couple of more attributes. Now here we will take input from the user. We will provide a screen to the user like our daily sales staff. From morning till evening they are in the field, and in the evening they need to come back, sit on their computer and input their daily expenses there. That today we invested so much on our eating, so much on our petrol, diesel, and so much expenses went for a gift or something, whatever it is. So those expenses one need to enter on day-to-day basis. So we need to design the input form. So for handling those input, I will create first two attributes. Let's say I name it total, which and then type equals to double, because an expense can be into cents as well. And let me provide some default value as 0.00. Okay, we will create one more attribute, and this time we will name it as expense type. Name equals to expense, what type of expense it was, and then, or maybe just expense only. So one will be expense and one will be the total of the expense, which we will use later. Type again double, default equals to 0.0, everything is okay. So we have defined two attributes, one is of name expense and one is of name total. So now we will design the form on which we will be taking the user input. So you know, in VF page as well, whenever we have to take user input, that should be enclosed within form tags. Okay, so let's design a UI component. So first UI colon input text to make to input the name of the expense. If the user wants to give some name to the expense, so exp name. I know this might be a bit boring typing everything, but as you follow through, it becomes easier for you to understand in the long run. Name. I could have pre-typed it for you and just have walked you through. That could have been an option as well, but I thought why not type step by step in front of you so that everything sticks to your mind much better. Okay, so value will be equals to v dot, we just created above a new expense attribute wherein we can record a new expense, and new expense dot name. Okay, here v equals to new expense, type expense, so name is here. So what we are doing, first we are binding this field to the name field here. Okay, in the new expense here we are creating a new expense record. So when you click on new, let's say if we go here manually, click on expense, click on new. So we need to specify these values and then click save. The same thing we are doing here through code. Sorry, the same thing we are doing here through code. So firstly, from name, it will be put into the name field. And how do we bind that to our new object? By view v dot new expense. New expense is this and name is here. Okay, so in this way this input field will get bounded to the attribute new expense name field. Okay, and here we will have the curly brace close. If you want, you can provide a placeholder as well, which will by default be present. Let's say my expense, and if you want it to be required, okay, let's make it mandatory, required equals to true. Similarly, we need to create a field for amount as well. Okay, control C. So we will have to create all the 5 fields which are present on the object. If you want to miss any field which is not mandatory for demo purpose, you can miss that as well, that's okay. But once we are building the app, let's build it nicely. And here instead of input text, I will use input number. This is for the amount field, or ID equals to amount. So we'll specify the appropriate ID so that it becomes easier for us to identify. The label again will be equals to amount. Class is form control, that's okay. And then value, this time we need to bind it to the amount field, and it is amount underscore underscore C. Placeholder, the default value, you can define anything. Let's say I give it something of the figure 11.23, required equals to true. Okay, so we have created two fields now.